Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Julia Royston. This is the day that the Lord hath made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. The assignment, you've been preparing for it all along. So I'm still on. April is the assignment. We'll be talking about the assignment that already is given it to me the rest of the month of April. So settle in, those of you who are either on assignment. I'm hoping to say something to encourage you. Some of you who may not know your assignment, hopefully we'll settle that today, and just settling in for um, the assignment. So when God first spoke it to me, I knew change was coming, and of course, I confess as I've gotten older, I don't like change that much. I don't like change. I mean, uh, as much as I should. I've had enough change in my life that, I should be used to it by now. God is a moving God. He moves and he moves in waves and opportunities and doors and preparation is already being made. But as I get older, I get kind of set in a routine and set in a rut. But as they say, I don't want him to implode, explode, blow up my life. So I have to settle in for his ways because his ways are not my ways, his thoughts are not my thoughts. The way he does things is totally not the way I do it. So when he said I had an assignment coming up, I kind of really, honestly, I pushed the panic button. And even giving it, as they say, anybody who's a leader or speaker or anything, you must be the first partaker. So when he said April assignment, I'm like, oh my goodness. And he said, well, first off, you have to understand that you've been preparing for it all along. So even though it wasn't always my dream to be a teacher, I'm called to teach. So therefore, there are times when he takes me back to my call and he takes me back to what I was, a part of for 22 years. I've always been a part of the education system in one way, shape, or form, just because of my parents. But and especially my father with Christian education and all that kind of stuff. He was always coined Mr. Sunday School. So, you can only imagine what that's like. So, the scripture he gave me, the title was the assignment you've been preparing for it all along. And then in John 15 and 16, he says, you have not chosen me, but I've chosen you and ordained you. So you've been chosen for this assignment. Now, when we go back to the classroom, the educators understand exactly what I'm about to say. But when you get ready to do a new concept or me from the technology arena, when we got ready to introduce a new software or whatever, we would first have the introduction of it, something new. And so your assignment, you don't all of a sudden just, okay, here's the test. Now, I do know some teachers who are cruel in that manner, who will give a quiz or test on the very first day. But most of the time, that information it should be, and if it's not, your parents should be, going through revolt. But normally, if you're giving a test on the first day, or a quiz, or an exam, or it's to see where you are. It's not to design for a grade or anything like that. It's to determine where you are and what you know, and especially if it's the beginning of the year, you're actually knowing exactly what happened the beginning of the year. So it's an opportunity for you to kind of gauge, what did you learn last year, what did you not learn this year. So basically, it's an introduction, but normally you're introducing a new concept. Okay, you're defining the vocabulary, you're defining the words you're going to use, you're determining what actually this new assignment is, this new task is. What does it mean? What from the previous project you just worked on does that apply to this new project here? All of that. How does that work? And what the connections are. And hopefully you've had some prerequisites. Like, you don't go straight to multiplication. You should know how to add and subtract and multiply and divide, and then get into, then, you get the basics first. You recognize numbers. You recognize what the letter is and how it's pronounced and what it sounds like. So those introducing new concepts. So in your life, have you been introduced to somebody who does something totally different and it piqued your curiosity? Or it seems like you've been introduced to something new and another opportunity, and somehow, it's just like, oh, I have an interest in that. So you start researching that. And of course, with technology, there's pixelations that there's little pieces of code that are associated with what you search. So all of a sudden, you're going to start seeing it. It won't just be God, it'll just be technology too. That anything you search, you'll start seeing more and more of it come up on your timeline. You'll see more and more of it that will be on your, just more and more of it will come up. And so, it's amazing how that happens. So you're introducing to new concepts. And then after you introduce for a while, because I'm not good at just straight cold lecturing. I'm about a good 15-minute girl, get it started, and then let's practice. So number two, we got practice. What's the practice of this? What are we gonna um how is the practice uh, of what we've just learned? And so, most of the time we take that pizza and we know what the whole is going to be, but we got to break it down into little pieces and parts. So we practice. Then we confirm. Number three, we confirm what we learned. We, have a confirmation of, yeah, that's good. Okay, no, you missed that step. Okay, it's a 3-step process. You jump from step 1 to step 3. So there are some times where you're introduced to something new in your assignment, in your life assignment, and you have opportunity to practice. Mysteriously, you think, somebody asked you to be on a committee. Somebody asked you to show up at a lecture. The business or the company or your department or your area is asked to do something brand new, and you're asked to just stand or greet or pick up the people or whatever that looks like. Okay. And so you have an opportunity to practice, to be in the room, to be in the arena, to be in the area, to go to the conference, land in the session. That's practice. That's being not only the introduction, but that's practice. And then if you have an opportunity to practice something and you do it well, you're like, that's confirmation. I really kind of like that. So in your life and in your assignment, it may take years, it may take time, but there'll be opportunity. You'll be confirmed. There'll be confirmation. Then sometimes you work in groups. You'll be, with any kind of project, a new concept. You'll be broken down from individual to groups, and you'll actually be able to share and work in groups. And then you'll have a time for evaluation of your performance, what your results were, how that all panned out, and what that looks like, and how you did. And then you realize you got individual standouts. You're an overachiever, and you're chosen. Tag, you're it. So you're chosen for the new assignment. Yay! The new assignment. You're an individual standout. You're an overachiever because you really like it, and you really like it. So when I went from wanting a part-time job, I just need a part-time job, and I didn't want to work in the food service. And I got to the law library in my junior year. Of course, I love books, so it didn't matter. But these were law books. It wasn't the same thing. But I got in the law game. It wasn't fiction. It wasn't, any of that nonfiction or something that I enjoyed reading. It was something else. So what ended up happening, I love the law game. The books got me there. That being inside an office building, working downtown with lawyers, something I knew nothing about, got me there. But when I got there, I got hooked because I was good at it. I was a good researcher. I was someone great that could find out, and I loved the challenge. And so that has carried on to being chosen and having the assignment and having the promotion of being the lead law librarian, and we switched, and I was the assistant sometimes, and then I turned into the lead, and then I left the company and went on, and that was for Purdue, and then I kept going. But sometimes the assignment, you've been preparing for it all along. It's been around you, it's been surrounding you all the time. You thought it was something different. You thought, oh my gosh, what happened? It's been here all the time. It's been here all along. So I hope that helps you. I hope that gets you on your way and continues to bless you, and realizing that nothing happens by happenstance. Nothing happens that God does not know about. Each experience, good or bad, is to help you along the way. And only, as old folks say, I look back and wonder how I made it over, will you know, oh, that was to help me get here, to do this, to then do this. So more than a notion, it's to help you go step by step by step. I hope that helps you on your day and on your week and your new assignment. You all be blessed in all that you do and all that you say. And I am super excited for the upcoming week coming up at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Live Your Best Life on envision-radio.com, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Spike Davis and Friends show. Tune in for Last Music and More. The Book Business Boss show at 10:30 a.m. on Tuesdays. 100 Ways to Be a Book Business Boss. Go there to YouTube. Look for the channel at Book Business Boss. And then coming up in the next couple weeks, I got time to catch my breath. On April 20th, Early Childhood Conference at E-Town, Elizabethtown, Kentucky. That's what we say in Kentucky. It's E-Town. Everybody knows where that is. And then April 25th through the 27th, I'll be in Columbus, Ohio. Ohio Alliance of Book School, Black School Educators, not book schools, educators, Black School Educators in Columbus, Ohio. Super excited for all that's happening in my life, and I trust it's happening in yours. I'm Dr. Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the Book Business Boss Consulting, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. Be blessed and have a great day. Bye-bye.